So, Anthony, you've had a lot of clients come through the doors with a lot of IRS issues in the past 10 years. So tell me, can you actually be indicted for failing to file a tax return?
You can be indicted. It is a crime to willfully not file a tax return, but the chances of it happening are incredibly remote. The IRS just wants people to file old returns and get into compliance. The IRS is more interested in looking at those who evade taxes by failing to put the correct number down on their returns. And they're only really interested in charging someone with failure to file returns when there's something else they really want to get them for. That is, willfully failing to file a return is an easier charge to prove than, say, tax evasion. If somebody knows about the tax code, knows they had income, then what's the reason why they didn't put that down on a tax return and file when year after year after year, they did know how to file a return? And recently there was a case that more or less backed up my observations about that. This is Winston Shrout, is a gentleman, I believe in Oregon or Washington, and he was recently indicted, and I saw the press release, an Oregon man indicted for tax or willful failure to file a tax return, and there was no indictment for tax evasion. So I was looking at this, and the press release didn't say a lot, but I said, okay, there's got to be a backstory to here that we're not seeing. And so I Googled his name, and then I found him, and he is somebody who you would probably consider one of these tax protesters. It seems like he has his following, and then he seems like there's people who do not like him because these people claim that he's leading them down a road. I did see very quickly that he was referring to something as the 1099 original issue discount tax way to get money back to prove that the government owes you money. And it's something that's been beaten to death a million times. It just doesn't work. It's not really founded upon any law, but rather what people want the law to be. So Winston Shrout, no relation to Dwight, I think, is now indicted, and it's going to be a hard case for him to overcome, as he did likely know he had an obligation to file a tax return.
But he's not our average Joe.
He's not the average one. So most people, you look at yourself, am I somebody that the government really doesn't like? Am I somebody the government has been warning me, hey, stop this. Hey, stop this. We don't like what you're doing. We think that you've done other things, because they also will look at any other alleged crimes that might not have anything to do with taxes. If they think you've done something fraudulent, well, that case is going to be a lot harder to prove. They just want to get you behind bars for something. So when you have an easy case to prove, that's what you're going to do. The IRS and the government is going to go for that easy conviction if they can.
Got it. All right. So as much as we think the tax code is unfair, right now it's the way of the law, and willfully not filing is a crime.
Is a crime. Most people, the vast majority of people, are not at risk for being convicted of it. Really, the IRS just wants you to get those old returns filed.
Awesome. All right. For more information, watch our next video on unfiled tax return amnesty. IRSMedic, the law offices of Parent, and Win, LLP. Real tax attorneys for tough tax problems.